Hello everybody and welcome back to our final match of our 5-match league. Here we are with Esper, Demonic, Starfield, and we've got a very removal heavy hand. I'm going to go ahead and keep it if we're up against an aggro deck. Then I like having the Silkwrap and Purges and Snares later. And if we find blue, then we can use the Oath of Jace to sculpt our hand for the later game. And we'll see what we're up against. Alright, and he's mulling to 5, unfortunately, and we'll see if that ends up giving us the time we need to find our mana. Right. Loam Dryad, so it looks like yet another black-green sacrifice deck. So we're going to have Aristocrats with the blood cutthroats, whatever, Zulaport cutthroats, that's what they are. Keep wanting to call them blood artists. Alright, so we need to start wiping our opponent's board if possible. Keep him low on his mana. He's going to have potentially 4 next turn. So we could Silkwrap one of them, we could Purge, that's the least likely, Snare, or just play the Oath of Jace. I think our options are to either Silkwrap with a Shambling Vent and have 4 mana the following turn, but that doesn't really give us much to work with. Cuts down on his mana ever so slightly. Or we can just play the Oath of Jace and find something like an untapped land and a Languish. I kind of like that. So I'm going to go ahead and play the Oath. Maybe get rid of some of our removal spells if necessary. Alright, just a bunch of lands and a Silkwrap, which unfortunately we won't have an untapped land next turn as we have no basics in play. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Evolving Wilds and I think another land. I'd like to keep another Shambling Vent since we already have blue mana. And I'll go ahead and pass. Next turn, if we have an untapped land, we can have the Great Silkwrapping. Play both of them out. Get rid of all of his creatures. Let's see what his play is, if anything. Ooh, so he's splashing blue. Guess this could be a Bant Company deck of sorts. So he doesn't actually have the mana for it. I might just hold up a Stasis Snare here. And then next turn we'd have 5 mana. Guess this is an interesting choice here. We've also got the double Silkwrap play. I don't think we necessarily need to worry about that just yet. So I think I'm going to just play a Shambling Vent and probably Stasis Snare something this turn. And the following I can have a Silkwrap and a Purge of some kind. See what he does with all of his mana now. So he had enough last turn for a Collected Company, but elected to attack instead. So that tells me he does not have one. And here he's holding up 3 for something. I guess just to activate the Recruiter, so might as well see what he's about to draw and snare it. Go ahead and get rid of that. It does replace itself, most likely. Remains to be seen with what? Duskwatch Recruiter. With itself. Alright, Caves of Koilos, not the best draw. I guess we could go ahead and get rid of 1 or just hold up a Shambling Vent. I think I'm just going to hold the Shambling Vent. We can do a lot better than Silkwrapping and Purging Loam Dryads, if you can't even attack with them especially. You'll see what he has. Besides the Recruiter, which we knew about. Can't really attack us. Okay, so we have halted his advance. And we continue to find lands, unfortunately. So now I am going to, let's see, if I Silkwrap, I still have the mana for activating a Shambling Vent, so I think that's what we'll do. And take the Duskwatch Recruiter. And that will likely be our turn. So we're looking for a way to end this game. He's only got 2, maybe 3 cards in hand now. If we can find a Demonic Pact, we've got the Purges as an out. He finds yet another Duskwatch Recruiter, so he's gone from one to another and a third, just recruiting away. Can't seem to deal with them fast enough. Cryptothrite's not too worried about. Recruiter. Alrighty. Just tapping them down with the Cryptothrites. So I guess we're going to dispatch this one as we did the others. Flaying Tendrils, that'll actually suffice. We can go ahead and, let's see, get rid of those and then attack for 2. We'll see what he draws. He finds a Reflector Mage, so he is Bant Company. Potentially splashing black for the Zulaport Cutthroats and Catacomb Sifters that are so strong with Collected Company. Go ahead and swing for 2. We'll actually be able to start activating both of our vents in a moment. Now he has a Reflector Mage, which is not the most useful against Shambling Vents. Don't know if he'll even bother playing one with nothing to bounce, but I guess he will. Probably presumes that I am a full control deck and don't have anything else that he'll have as a target. So I think what I'd like to do here is use Silumgar's command to kill the Reflector Mage if I so choose, and also bounce the Oath of Jace back to hand, replay it next turn to see a bunch of cards and find a way to close things out. But I'll hold back and also see if he's got something worth countering. Or Gideon or something, for instance, to destroy. Preferably counter. Alright. Bunch of white border lands. Does not attack. Right, so I think we're going to bounce the Oath, kill the Reflector. We're going to replay that and hopefully find something worth casting. If nothing else, we can always attack with the Shambling Vents. Well, there's a Demonic Pact, so I guess we're going to play likely the Oath and the Pact. So let's go ahead and start things off with an Oath of Jace. Now things actually become somewhat exciting. I don't think we're going to get much value out of the Languish anytime soon. I would like to keep a land also to play, but definitely holding on to the Purges now that we have a Pact. I'll go ahead and get rid of the Silkwrap, and I think like I said, we won't be needing the Languish exactly. It was a tough decision. If he has a Collected Company, I might regret that, but I think between the Pact and the Jace, oops, I forgot to play my Shambling Vent, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference here. Should be careful not to skip through playing my cards though. So this can only exile other creatures. I think I'm going to go ahead and just Helix that now. Deal 4, gain 4. And we got a Concoction. Not the most exciting card. And doesn't matter which Oath we keep. So we're looking for a Starfield of Nyx or something to end the game. We found that and a Sorin. So we could actually play the Swamp and the Starfield this turn, bring back Oath of Jace the following turn. So I think I'm going to get rid of the Vent and a Concoction, and just play out the Starfield. And that should just about wrap things up for game 1. We can actually start attacking too. Opponent's at 5. We've got a Sorin to deal with anything he plays. We can dispose of our Demonic Pact and bring it back the following turn. We've got man lands and whatnot to deal the last few points of damage. So he's going to actually bounce probably the Stasis Snare or the Silkwrap and get back his Recruiter, but I still don't think that's going to be enough. So I'm wondering if this still applies. I'm going to guess that I still can't cast Silkwrap, funnily enough. Ooh, and he can actually, if he has another land, he could have bounced the Reflector Mage with his Eldrazi Displacer. It's quite potent. Alright, so we're going to bring back a free Silkwrap and draw 2 cards, and that should clean things up. Disperse should end the game. So we'll bring back the wrap, take away the displacer, and I think that's going to be a wrap here. And even go ahead and play another Starfield to bring the other back in. And that will do it. All right. So we'll move on to game 2 here against a Collected Company deck, I'm going to assume. Didn't actually see one cast, but it fits the bill. So I think a Transgress the Mind and a number of Dispels could be worthwhile. Didn't actually see any tokens for the Virulent Plague. I think on the draw I can, let's see, shed maybe a Starfield to bring in a Transgress the Mind, and then a couple of Dispels for a single land and an Oath of Jace. And we'll run that back and see how things go. Stay tuned, be back in just a moment with match 5, game 2. Up 1 against a Bant Coco deck from the looks of it.